Hi Libras. So I've been asking the signs, what do you want for this eclipse season? Because eclipse seasons are always a really good time to recognize what it is you want to keep in your life and what it is you know that you need to let go of. It's just been a very difficult journey in letting it go. And very interesting because yesterday the energy was so heavy and I was just sick to my stomach like all day yesterday. So I had to take some time and rest, which we always need. And I know, being a Virgo sun and a Libra rising, it's very hard for me to recognize when I need to rest. And so sometimes my body forces me to do it. But the energies are really, really perfect right now to bring things into your life and to let go of things. And eclipses are really kind of a tool in helping you do that. So I've been asking all of the signs, like, what is it that you want? What do you want to let go of that's you've had a really hard time letting go of? Because it's time to make space. It's time to make space for the good things that are coming into your life. And the second half of July, so the first half of July we talked about too good to be true, right? Things too good to be true. And the second half of July is going to be all about letting go, so that you can have those things that you feel like it is too good to be true. So what is it? Is it a thought process? Is it a person? Is it a job? I feel like you know what you want. Like there's this very strong feeling. And the Queen of Swords is the first card out. So really in your element. Being very clear and very logical. Open. Decisive. You know, the Queen of Swords will give chance after chance after chance after chance before finally cutting something out of her life. And if you have been the Libra, because Libras get a bad rap sometimes about being wishy-washy and not deciding, not having that deciding factor. If you are, and I don't think that that is being wishy-washy, honestly. And I mean, I'm biased because I'm a Libra rising, but sometimes I have a hard time making a decision because I don't want to hurt somebody, or I don't want to get hurt myself, right? So there's always that deliberating. There's always that balancing out of the scales. Six of Pentacles. I feel like you've decided that you have been giving your energy to something a little too much. The Six of Pentacles to me always represents the question, where's your energy going? Is your energy going to something that deserves it, or are you giving your energy to things that are taking you for granted, taking advantage of you? Ace of Pentacles. It's so interesting because the energy that I'm getting from you guys is so subdued. Like, I'm not really bothered right now. I'm not going to let myself be bothered right now. That's a very decisive way to be, right? Because Ace of Cups. Because you know where your energy belongs. And you're not going to be bothered by the other things. It's like all of those bugs that are flying around you. It's the summertime in the States. We have a lot of bugs in the summertime in the States, right? So, not giving too much of yourself. You could be spending a lot of time at work or really just focusing on the work aspect. But it's very fulfilling at the same time. And I feel like that it's interesting how once you kind of step back and you notice where you're putting too much time and effort into someone or something, and you start to take that time and effort away from that someone or something, even if it's just a thought process, like, I'm not going to think about that anymore. I'm going to put my time and effort into something else. It's very fulfilling when you make space during this eclipse season. Make space for the stuff that's real. Make space for the stuff that you've been working so hard for. You know, we've talked about this for months, about how all of this hard work and people just, like, their drama keeps on getting involved in the middle of all the hard work. And it's like, no more. You know, I don't want to do that anymore. And then we have the Lovers card. There is this very definitive feeling. This could be a Gemini. You know, we do have the Queen of Swords up here, but I really feel like the Queen of Swords is your energy. You could still be dealing with a Gemini. But this coming out, it's almost as if it's shocking to you. Again, talking about from the first half of July, is it really possible? Can it be real? And I think that because you did start putting your focus in another area of your life, it's almost as if this was gifted to you, either a new relationship or just like a renewal of a relationship. It's like you stopped worrying so much about what had to happen versus what you already knew about it. What you already knew was going to happen. So why keep bothering, right? Yeah. Page of Pentacles and the Two of Cups. Whenever I see the Page of Pentacles, especially with the Two of Cups, so I see the Page of Pentacles in two different ways a lot of times, depending on what other cards I have with it. A lot of times, to me, it's like the offer isn't enough. Like the person doesn't have enough to offer you. Sometimes I see it as like a very humble beginning offer, or I don't have much to offer you. This is all I have to offer, but it's everything that I can give you right now. And sometimes that's the best one. Sometimes not having like the over the top, let me give you everything I possibly can, even though it's depleting me in some way. We have to remember that sometimes the fantasy of what we want is like way, like the expectations are way high, right? But then if somebody humbly comes to you and says, but I do love you, and this is all I have to offer, but it's everything that I have. Sometimes that's better than the grand gesture. And we often get wrapped up in thinking we need to have this overflowing, like, huge, gigantic balloons and whatever, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a surprise party. It can just be like a dinner date, right? So if you have an earth sign in your life, or any sign, doesn't have to be an earth sign, I feel like there is, at the end of July, a very small offer given to you. Kind of, it's humble. It's not huge. You could actually miss it if you don't keep your eyes open. But it's going to be very fulfilling. It's going to be something unexpected. And I mean, I wish I could be like, or you could just be offering yourself something. I really feel like somebody actually wants to offer Libra. It could be an apology. Who knows? It doesn't have to be big, is what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't even have to be that romantic. You know, this could just be a soulmate that's in your life, a friendship that's in your life. We have the Queen of Cups, water sign, the Fool, the Five of Cups, the Magician, the Four of Pentacles. We'll clarify a couple of these as well. So, Libra, there is a water sign or somebody who is quite fond of you, who kind of wants a fresh start. And I feel like it's after a time of you really like getting all of your ducks in a row, knowing exactly what it is you want. Sorry, my ear is ringing. Wow, that was pretty heavy. The energies are really, really heavy right now, so just you'll have to bear with me through this. And then I feel like they want to have a fresh start after a time of disappointment and regrets. And I almost get the feeling that after this, I want you to remember that you don't have to hold on really, really tightly to whatever the offer is or whatever is given to you. I feel like there's more behind the offer, but I think in your mind, you're thinking, if I don't hold on to this, this offer is not going to come back around again. But with the Magician and the Four of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles to me is always like you're holding on way too tightly to this. You know, especially with the Nine of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Like being up in your head. And it's almost like you don't think that there's going to be something better or bigger coming to you or being offered to you. So you have to really, really hold on tight to whatever it is that's being given. You could also really be trying to make a lot of money right now or working really hard right now. We could go that route as well. But this feels very emotional. And the reason why it feels very emotional is because of the Five of Cups in between these. Because I feel like somebody wants to have like a new start, a fresh start, something, you know, and you're kind of up in your head about it. Like, but this is, it's almost like that, but this has happened before. I've felt like this before and nothing came of it. And so I'm going to hold on really, really tightly. I don't want you to be in your head about this because the Two of Wands and the Six of Cups and then the Three of Wands. It's so funny. I'm like, I wonder if the Three of Wands is going to show up too. There is so much more to this connection than you are thinking. Remember how we talked about illusion versus reality? The illusion of it is don't have such high expectations, because sometimes we can put people on pedestals and be like, but this is what I want out of you. Yes, have expectations where you are treated correctly, you are treated right. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying if you are expecting something of somebody that they can just simply not offer, and you already know that, but you're expecting it, and then they offer you something as much as they possibly can, and then you question it. I don't want you to get lost in the idea of, I want more, I want more, I want more, I want more. Because divine timing is always working. And even if it's baby steps, it's still happening. You're still moving forward. You're still getting, obviously you're getting what you want. It may not look exactly the way you wanted it to look, right? It may not look exactly the way you wanted it to look, but you're still getting it. I know. We always want exactly what we want. So let's clarify some of these things. Let's see. I want to know what the Six of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles is, because I do feel like you're putting a lot of energy into work. And that's probably why you're kind of blindsided by this whole relationship business. I feel like it comes out of thin air. Yeah, the Chariot. When we get the Chariot in a work situation, you're really becoming balanced out and moving forward. You could be dealing with a Cancer. There is a water sign down here. You could be putting your efforts into balancing out a stable relationship or a stable life with a water sign, also with a Cancer. But to me, I feel like your money's is going to be okay. Like, I'm not going to say everybody's going to win the lottery, but I feel like whatever you've been working on in business, things look really good. So, Ace of Cups and the Lovers. You could also be traveling for work, too, with the Chariot. Ace of Cups and the Lovers. Okay, so the Knight of Pentacles. There's that Earth sign again. Oh my gosh, Libra is so funny. Oh, it's going so slowly, right? Oh, the agony of the pace of the Knight of Pentacles. So, I'm laughing with you. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. Remember, I'm a Libra rising. This relates to me too. No, we're a cardinal sign. We just want it to happen already. We're a cardinal sign. Yeah? The thing is, we have to remember with the Knight of Pentacles, it may feel stagnant. It may feel very, very slow and really obnoxious at times, but it's methodical. And again, it's divine timing. Same thing with the Chariot. The Chariot is all about divine timing. So don't get wrapped up in the pace, because we also, I also want to remind you that time isn't linear. Energy is fluid. Things come to us when they're supposed to. And I know that it's really, really difficult to remember things like that. And like, it just sucks to have to deal with that kind of slowness, especially as a cardinal sign. So focus on your work. Remember, that's how you got here to begin with, where you were kind of blindsided by this generous offer that now you're like, okay, well, I've got this offer, but now it's going so slowly. Like, why all the slowness? Why the slow pace? So, Page of Pentacles and the Two of Cups. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. See what I mean? I told you, I love it when the cards work in my favor. Or work with me and not against me, I guess. We should say that. Because they're working in your favor. The Wheel of Fortune is all about divine timing. Let the offer come to you. You don't have to agonize about when it's going to happen, because, Libra, it's going to happen. Let the offer come to you. And even if it's not a really, really big gesture, if it's genuine and they're kind of humbled, if it's genuine, don't say, but I wanted more. Because we get wrapped up in wanting more out of life. Right? All right. So, Libras. I want to see what the disappointment is, because I do feel like there's kind of this fresh start that happens, but then this Five of Cups shows up and sort of puts you in your head and kind of makes you shut down a little bit. What is this Five of Cups? Is it because it's not a grand gesture, it's just a smaller one, or you've been waiting for a long time? The Tower. It's the things that you have to leave behind. It's the things that you're leaving behind. Because this is what we talked about with the eclipse, the lunar eclipse. That's what the Five of Cups. Because you're starting to recognize that in order to have a fresh start, in order to have faith in yourself and move in a positive direction, you are going to have to leave some things behind. And I don't think you're quite ready to let go of some stuff. And that doesn't mean it's this relationship. I don't feel like it's this relationship. I feel like it's the things in your life that you know. It's like this relationship, albeit slow going in divine timing, it's happening methodically. the things that you have to leave behind, it's almost like you know that once you start leaving things behind, this is going to start happening a little faster. So thought processes, or just you, there's so much more out there for you in this connection. There's so much more out there, and you know that, and that's why this Tower came along. You've got to do a clean sweep of your life, and it's in every aspect of your life. It's not just going to be in one area. You're really going to have to look at a lot of different aspects of who you are and where you want to grow. And a lot of times the Tower comes in and says, this part is unstable, so we've got to make it right. Yeah. All right. So the workshops, if you want to work on moving forward, it's going to be a perfect time because right during the eclipse season, I'll be doing workshops on releasing fears and moving forward, and letting go of things that you need to let go of, ideas, you know, and how to do that. And I'll be working with you guys on doing that. I'll be in New York July 20th, 2 weeks from now. Actually 2 weeks yesterday. And then the 27th, I'll be in Boston. I also have in-person readings available on my website, fearlessintuition.net. You can get the tickets for the events on my website, or you can click in the description box below for the tickets. And also InstantGo app. I'm on the InstantGo app. And yeah, if you want to get a personal reading, also go to my website, fearlessintuition.net. I think that's it. If you guys have any questions about the workshops, let me know. And I will see you for August readings. Bye.